Welcome to the Fans Edge Sports Show. Talk about the X's and O's. Talk and break down for the success of each team.
Slow your roll.
Whether he has something to do with it or not, we are adding that to the clock.
No team gonna freaking run the ball like that. That's challenging your manhood.
Not too much.
People still remember that.
So look, I don't need to hear anything from you, Mike.
It's been a crazy week for college football.
They value seniority.
When they're looking at the schedule, that's a tough schedule. Go beat everyone.
You already know.
Let's go.
You already know.
Welcome to the Fans Edge Sports Talk Breakdown. This is our first one of the 2023 season. I am your host, 216 Mike. Also got my producer here, Walt K Disney. And we got a very, very, very special guest with us. My guy, Smokey, man. Ultimate Tennessee fan or whatever. Now, we want to give listeners a fresh take on college football. We aren't professionals. We are fans just like you.
So before we get into it, we want you to subscribe to our show and join the discussion. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Best Damn Media and our Facebook group, Best Damn Media as well. So make sure you like and subscribe. And also join us live every Wednesday night to join the discussion. So let's get right into it. Y'all know I'm a Tennessee fan, so it's about that time. It is the third Saturday in September. So this upcoming Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, the Big Orange comes in at 2-0 for the year, following their win over Virginia and Austin Peay. Although the team performance, it did struggle in the offense early on. But Joe Milton, he's that man. And he's at 67% passer right now. Scored about 7 touchdowns with, I think it was around 429 yards, leading the attack. And, Tennessee is very aggressive, averaging about 478 yards per game. And is particularly strong against the run, only 11 around 87 yards. Now, Florida, they dropped it against Utah in the season opener, but rebounded with a 49-7 thrashing of McNeese State, hopefully, the following week as the Gators backs pounded for 327 yards. Now, they got that transfer quarterback, Graham Mertz. He's been pretty stable so far, some people say, completing around 74% of his throws with 1 turnover and about 3 touchdowns, combining for, I think, around 526 yards this far. So what can we expect when things kick off, Mike?
Yeah, man, you can definitely expect some fireworks. I think this is going to be a really great game, SEC game, and both of these teams seem to, or systems as well, seem to rely heavy on the quarterback in that passing game. And Tennessee, I remember Urban Meyer last year talking about how he had to call up different colleagues because of the way that the Tennessee coach runs this offense. But we got my guy Smokey in here to talk about it. But Smokey, I want you to introduce yourself. Let everybody know your platform, what you do, and because I thought it was only right to bring you on because I love the work that you and your brother do with Student of the Game.
Man, I definitely appreciate that, Mike and Ms. Diz. So, Students of the Game, Smoke, we basically give platforms to the kids, athletes, coaches, trainers. We give them a platform to just talk about what they do, and we give little tidbits in recruiting and just help the parents out if they have any questions as well. And, with us being Vols fans, it's only right that we talk about our Tennessee football as well. So, so that's what Students of the Game, and that's going to be every Monday on from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's with me and my brother. That's Carlito25way on Twitter. You can catch him there. He's crazy. He's the Gator hater this week. So that's what he labeled as. So, but man, getting right into what you guys said about this game, man, y'all were spot on with it. That with Tennessee, I think that what we got to do, a key to win is we got to pull some of the stuff out that we did to beat Alabama defensively. We got hits on the quarterback. We was stopping the run. And then, you know, offense, it'll take care of itself, what I believe. I mean, we struggled, you know, with the first 2 weeks of the offense. And then, but we can say that we struggled, but as Vols fans, Hyper done spoiled us with all these points that he run up and gave us. And when you put your lenses on it, we had a good running game, you know, the first 2 weeks. And, you know, everybody's looking for the big plays in the passing game, but we took care of business in the running game. So, I mean, if that's how we gonna run it and do that and win, I'll take that. You know.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I went ahead and I was like, man, this is an interesting matchup. I went and looked at the history of this game, and it's like, man, I didn't know. Like when you talking about like all time, like Tennessee, when I went on Winsipedia, Tennessee like all time bowls, all time like winning record, like conference championships, like all over Florida. But you know, like recently, you know, your new coach came in. He's been rebuilding this program, getting it back to where Tennessee was. And, you know, I don't like to go that far back. So I just only went to the CFP era because I feel like that's where, you know, everybody, you know, it's the modern era right now. It's what I think we should be focused on. Yeah. So, like, right now, Florida is leading, y'all. I think they've won 7 games. Tennessee has won 2 since the CFP era. Tennessee is coming off of a win last year. Smokey, talk about the game last year because, you know, this is the same coach. It's a different quarterback that they're coming in with, but it's the same coach, same system. So talk about that game when they came into Tennessee last year.
So last year's game, and it's every year, the Florida game is the measuring stick for our season, how we think we're going to do in the East. But last year was crazy. So, you know how we was all on the spaces, and my Florida partners, they was trolling me. We don't lose to Tennessee. And, you know, they got AR coming in, and he was doing his thing. And we were steady, you know, doing our thing. I was confident. I can't even lie to you. I was confident until the fourth quarter. So I'm getting ready to go to my second job, and I'm over here in the Uber. So I'm like, I got to watch on my phone now. So, you know, watching on my phone, and, you know, Florida made it a little interesting last year and scored late, and we was only up 5 and kicked the onside kick and got the onside kick. So, Mike, let me tell y'all, during this onside kick, I'm getting ready to get out the car. So I Uber to work. I'm getting ready to get out the car, and the job calls me. So I'm like, mind you, this not even my primary job. I just go help my sister at this place, you know. Like, why are you calling me? You know, mess up my whole footage, so I don't even know what happened. You know, I'm just so boom. I get out, I'm trying to reconnect, and now I go to my ESPN app and I see Florida got the ball. I'm like, oh, let me call Lito. So I call Lito, and Lito said, yeah, they got it, bro. He said, but don't say it. And every year, this thing that we do, and I'm not sure if Ms. Diz do it, but I know a lot of Vol fans do it. When plays like that happen late in the game, we say, here we go again. And Lito stopped me from saying that. He said, don't say it, bro. Don't say it, bro. So we pulled out the victory with an interception from Kamal Haddon, man, and that was just great. But the thing is the game's going to be totally different from last year, man. Different personnels, and like I said, Joe got to kickstart that offense with those new receivers that he got. And I personally thought that they would have kickstarted against Austin Peay and Virginia because Joe was the second-string quarterback last year. So most of those guys that he's throwing to, he's been getting those reps in practice with for over a year now. So that's why I was thinking, like, hold on, we're going to come in bombs away, but, you know, the ground game took it away. But, yeah, those were my thoughts from last year, though. It's going to be totally different from this year.
So would you say that Joe Milton would be the Tennessee's key player of the game? Like, that's the X factor of this game? Or do you have someone else as your X factor, like the key guy in this game?
So I don't even have a guy. I got a whole unit.
Okay, well, give me that unit.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
The key unit is gonna be the offensive line and the defensive line.
Okay.
If you control the line of scrimmage of this game, you're gonna win. Cause I'm actually gonna be making an appearance at that game. First time in the swamp, night game. They telling me it's gonna be rocking.
Lit.
But I checked the weather and I'm like, hold on, it's gonna be raining all day. So, that's gonna play a big key into what teams are gonna want to do. That ball gonna be wet, people be slipping around, So it's gonna be tough. I feel like if we don't get that ground game going, the offensive line don't handle the trenches like we supposed to, it's gonna be a long night.
I agree, man. Getting into this, ESPN has your all as a matchup predictor, gives Tennessee a 53.8% chance to win this game. Now, like you said, O-line and D-line, this is what I like to use. Smokey, you probably heard me talking about this last year, but early in the season, this is my trusty book right here, man. Pick Six Previews, man. It breaks down those units that you were talking to me about, ranks those in the conference, things like that. And when I saw this in the breakdown, Tennessee has a better O-line unit.
Yep.
Tennessee has a better defense overall. I mean, when you're talking about D-line, you're talking about DBs and linebackers. And what do we see? Utah against Florida. Their issue wasn't the passing game. Utah didn't even get 200 yards passing. It was the ground game. Yep. And that was something that Florida actually struggled with in a P5 game. So, Lito, I need you to talk to me and go deeper about why Pick Six Previews, or how did y'all ended up getting to the point where y'all talent in these units is outmatching Florida? Because, everybody talks about Florida and we hear Florida fans, we do this in recruiting, we get this. But now it's looking like Tennessee is doing this thing, and, maybe the portal has something to do with that.
Man, I definitely have to agree with you on the portal. We got some key guys in the portal. One in our middle linebacker, Keaton Feely, he's actually going to be out. Unfortunately, he got injured. But I actually been checking them out last year, and I noticed that Utah game was a big magnifying glass on that O-line. And it was funny, we was in spaces with the Florida guys. We be in there with them and hang out with them. And me and Lito, we work together occasionally when we do our shows on Monday. So I'm just looking at clips of their fall camp, and their O-lineman whiffed on a dummy. And I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like, hold on now. You whiffing on a dummy? Like, not so. We pointed that out, and they was like, man, he wasn't supposed to do this, did that, y'all. So they didn't make a big deal. They was trying to, sweep it under the rug like it wasn't going to be an issue. So then we keep watching some more, and Princely, their number one defensive end or edge rusher, he did a drill, and he came off the bag. And, when you're coming off the bag as a D lineman, you break down, looking ready to tackle. He just came off the bag and ran back to the back of the line. And I'm just like, oh, this ain't leader. So it was kind of, we kind of, put a magnifying glass on that in the fall camp, because me and Lito, we definitely like to peek in, and I got an On3 premium account. I look around and see what these other teams got going on and stuff. But man, I'm gonna have to get it. I'm gonna have to get that pick six, man, because definitely, man, I'm gonna have to tap into that. But if they got us and they got our defense better than theirs, and that's all that you hear about these guys, man. Our defense this, our defense that.
Defense that, yep.
That 0.6 yard per rush average against Utah was definitely something that I circled. I trolled them boys on because they were talking about they were the best running back unit in the nation, not only the conference, but the nation, And so I was looking for those guys to put up big numbers. I actually like Montreal Johnson and ETN. I don't have a problem. As an opposing fan, I definitely, like what they do, but don't want them to do it against us. But, that was some good backs. But with putting up that 0.6 yards rush, and we can't really give it on the sacks because they didn't have too many sacks for too many loss of yards to kill them. So that's just on the running back unit in the O-line room. And another thing, I think that McNeese State game was not a good game for them at the right time, because Like they think they doing something, man. You know, we like it. Just McNeese State. You know, just like people say, hey, we struggling with Austin P, but hey, you know, they got McNeese State, and they thinking they gonna, you know, run the score up on Tennessee based off they McNeese State.
It's funny because Diz and I went to UCA, and UCA used to beat up on McNeese State when they was in the Southland Conference. So, and that's FCS level. So, like, our school used to beat up on them. So, I feel you on that. Diz, you got any questions for Smokey?
We were talking before the show, and the last time that Tennessee won in the Swamp was probably around 20 years ago. So, Smokey, what do you think Tennessee needs to do? And we're not and I'm talking more on not just the O-line and the defensive line, but I'm talking between like the receivers, Joe Milton, the quarterback. What does he need to come in and prepare himself to do in the Swamp? Because that environment, it's a completely different ball game. And it's at night too on top of that. And like you said, it's going to be raining, it's going to be loud, it's going to be crazy. So because we watched these first two games as well, you know, we talked about the struggles. What does, as a leader coming in, you know, with Tennessee, and this is our year. I keep saying that this is our year. What do he need to do to come into this game and walk away with the dub?
Oh man, Joe just don't need to turn the ball over. If he don't turn the ball over and we win the turnover battle, that's one key thing that he needs to do. Don't turn the ball over. And second thing is get your playmakers the ball. Like, you know, and I think Hype gonna help him with that, you know, with the play calls. We think we're gonna open up the playbook a little bit more. And just protect the ball is the key thing. Protect the ball in the Swamp, because, you know, when you get those turnovers on the road and the Rockers crowd, it's like in Neyland, you know, we get a turnover, we rock it. So I can only imagine. And then they're supposed to have a blowout too. So I just need Joe to, they just need to come out like 03. And I'm not sure if you've seen on social media with Phil Farmer's speech, pregame speech. That's what Hype will need to go. He need to reenact that, because I just looked at it earlier today and it just sent some chills through my body. I'm like, man, my Coach Phil Foreman had them boys ready.
Look, I'm about to play it.
Yeah, you got to, Diz. I'm telling you, it's gonna send chills through your spine. But the receivers have to. I think we got to get our transfer receiver Dante Thornton involved. He hasn't had a catch. He dropped a big one. Joe eluded pressure, rolled to the left, threw an NFL caliber throw to the sideline, and Dante dropped it, man. So I know he probably licking his chops to get back, you know, in the lineup and show good against a quality opponent. So the receivers definitely have to. We got to get Squirrel right involved and Dante Thornton involved. I think Broom and Mel gonna just, you know, do what they do. You know, they're consistently good at what they do anyways. But yeah, I think that's what we got to do. And then we got to defensively, we cannot give up the big play. And that's something that we struggled with the first two games. We let Austin P get a big run. That's how they got on the board early. And we let off a couple passes with Virginia, even though they really didn't threat us that much. But giving up the big play is going to be key for the defense. And Joe's just going to have to be Joe and just not turn the ball over.
Gotta have confidence in your quarterback.
Got to. That's my guy. Hopefully we get to see Nico in the fourth quarter of a win, you know.
Right. I'm ready to see Nico out there and see what he can produce. So yeah, I have high hopes for him too.
And also another guy, you guys probably don't know about him yet, Diz, you probably heard of him. Cam Seldon. I looked for Cam Seldon. He's a freshman running back. He's really a freshman athlete. He can play running back, wide receiver, but we started him off at running back. I look for him to have like a little package to get him going, you know, with a screen or something to see if he can break off a big play or something. Because the ball in his hands with space is crazy. It's crazy. And I didn't even get to talk about the special teams, man. That's going to be key too. D. Williams be running that thing back. He might be leading the nation in his average, but Florida special teams has been struggling.
Yeah, they have.
I want to see how the kicking game go with it being wet, and how these guys feel these returns.
Well, you know, Smokey, you have heard me tell Florida fans about Graham Mertz. You know, I've watched a lot of Graham Mertz being in the Big Ten, and I tried to explain to them that he's not going to do anything that's going to help you get over the hump. In the Utah game, they're saying, oh, well, Graham Mertz didn't have that bad of a game. Yeah, but he also didn't have the game that you would like that can show you that you can compete for an SEC championship or really be a contender out here in college football, right? But also, I really think that, like you were saying, when you get pressure on him, I've seen him make several mistakes. And if you guys get home, we know that can be an issue. We know their ground game is an issue, and they want to talk about, it says we only had 13 yards because Graham Mertz got sacked. That's minus 29. Okay, well, I looked it up, right? That means y'all had, 12 rushes for 43 yards? That's still not good. That's a 0.27 average. Like, it's still not good. So, I mean, I don't know. I have no faith in Florida at all. Tell me what you think about Graham Mertz, and what are you expecting Florida to give you guys difficulty with, if anything at all?
So Mertz is Mertz. Like you said, he put up numbers, and I like to call them empty calories, like Uncle Shay say on now on First Take now, but
yeah,
he call them empty calories. So he getting all these yards when the game is already out of hand. Y'all not gonna win. So, and like you said, man, with this showing, I definitely expected them to score more than 11 points. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if the coaches with the travel and everything, they didn't get over here early enough or whatever was that. But still, I still believe that he would have mustered up more than 11 points. But, he got the yardage. And that's why I say that McNeese State game wasn't good for them, because this was a stat game, basically. So now they coming in with the big head, and that stat game really masked some of their dang on weaknesses that they, clearly showed in the Utah game. But I look for they got they D-line, they've been stopping the run. They got good linebackers with was it Shamar James, I believe is his name, or something like that. But they got a good linebacker over there, and
yeah,
I think that if they get in our O-line's heads, I mean, if our O-line, because we getting Cade back, and that's our starting center. He's been out the first 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the O-line is going to be the problem, but that's the only way that if they D-line can get after us and batter our O-line, then that'll be the way that they'll stop us. Because like I said, that'll mean that they'll stop the run and they'll be getting to Joe. If they get to Joe and he makes some mistakes, then we all know it's not going to be a party. I won't be eating Gator bites. I'll be headed back to my hotel.
Honestly, I think y'all will do great in the running game. I mean, Utah's running back, Nate Johnson averaged 7.5. What's his name? Micah Bernard averaged 6.4. Like, I mean, I really believe like you guys are going to take care of business. Before, I guess, let's go ahead and get into it. Game predictions, man. What we like to do here is we like to go ahead and put people on the record, right? So, Smokey, do you want to go ahead and give your game prediction? Because I'm already telling the folks I got Tennessee winning. I think, I would say if it wasn't raining, Tennessee by double digits, but I'm going to go ahead and say Tennessee by a touchdown.
On the record?
Mike and Miss Diz, I don't think we'll struggle. I think especially it's going to have some smokes and SOTG good look down there in that stadium. I think it's going to be with the rain and stuff. I think I don't think it's going to rain after 8, but with the stadium and stuff being wet, I got it 38 to like 17 maybe. We might crack 42 or something like that. But I still think we'll run away with it. Like you said, we got the backs because we got several backs. We got actual depth this year, so you know. So yeah, 38-17 or 42-17, one of those in between there. Tennessee.
All right, Diz, what about you?
Look, I'm gonna have to follow right behind him. I know Graham Mertz like to throw that ball in the air, but I think our defense can come through. But I still think this might be a semi-high scoring game. So I'm gonna probably go. I think I'm gonna stick in the 30s. So I'm gonna say around. I'm gonna go 32, maybe 20. I'm gonna put it in the 30s and 20s. I'm gonna see what happens there. I don't want to push my luck and give away too much because I feel like I'm bad luck. Honestly, I cannot watch the fourth quarter of a Tennessee game because every time I do, something comes off. So I'm gonna put it in the 30s to 20s. So we'll see what happens this upcoming week. We'll definitely see.
Let's go. Disney, was there anything else? Oh, me? Y'all want an actual score prediction for me?
Yeah, we got you on record, Mike.
All right. What I say, it's probably going to be a 6-point game. I said maybe the rain could be an issue. And then I said that Tennessee wins by at least 6. Give me 28-21.
Okay.
28-21, Tennessee.
On the record.
Yep.
Right.
On the record.
2 touchdowns ahead.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
We got to play in the clock rules because I believe that's what kind of hurt Tennessee with the Austin Peay game. They was trying to play keep away from us too. So.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, Ohio State been doing that for dealing with that the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know how that can be. Yeah. Well, with that, yeah. Smokey, I want you to tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at SOTG Smoke. And also you can find me on Instagram at Students of the Game 423. Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to speak to y'all about that. We had Baylor and Lipscomb. So Baylor has Alabama commit Amari Jefferson. He lit Lipscomb up for 3 touchdowns. And it was kind of sad because he lit up Tennessee commit Caleb Beasley for 3 touchdowns. And that was that was a good matchup because those guys are friends. And Caleb he played IMG, haven't given up a touchdown, I don't believe. And they had a nationally ranked schedule so far. So when they played Baylor, I was expecting, Caleb to, either lock somebody down, but it was Baylor, and they came through with 3 touchdowns with the Alabama commit, man. I hate that he's going to Bama because he's right out of Tennessee and Chattanooga, man. And hopefully he could don that orange, but man, he looked nice. And so yeah, we cover games every Friday, and so just tap into Students of the Game 423 on Instagram and SOTG Smoke on Twitter for any and all coverage of Students of the Game.
Bad. And Disney, where can they find you at?
Always hit me up at Walt K Disney. Go ahead, slide in them DMs, send me a comment, whatever you want to talk about on the Fans Edge. And if you want to join a breakdown, just go ahead and hit us up. We're always willing to have guests on our show. For sure. And Smokey's Twitter, where you guys can find him, will be in the description below. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at 216_wildboy. We appreciate y'all for joining the first breakdown of the 2023 season. Again, my guy Smokey, shout out to you. Appreciate you coming on. Make sure y'all check out Student of the Game with Smokey and Carlito. And with that being said, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell. And with that being said, we are out.